Welcome to Calming Harp, the sounds of David's Psalms. I'm glad you've joined us for this brief moment we share together. I will be playing some of the music that has been brought out of the Psalms. My name is Steve Rees. I play the harp, and over the last several years I've been bringing the sounds of David's Psalms into recordings. You can find a lot of my music on my website, www.calmingharp.com. I have CDs available and MP3s. And you can go to YouTube. If you go to YouTube and then type in Peregrinati, Peregrinnatti, you will find hours of beautiful harp music that you can just play in the background and be calmed with the music that David may have played for his sheep at one time or another. So as we share this half hour, join me and enjoy the sounds of David's harp. Well, here we are again. Thank you for coming back. This is number 64 episode of Calming Harp Radio. And I thank you for my loyal listeners. I wasn't sure that I would ever make it this far, but here we are. And I'm really enjoying spending this half hour with you all. Anyway, we were reading the other morning in 2 Samuel, and it was in the time when Absalom went against David and was actually chasing him with the intent to kill him. And David was 2 Samuel verse 15, chapter 15, verse 31. Now David had just walked up Mount of Olives, weeping as he went, bareheaded and barefoot. And all the people who were with him covered their heads, and they were weeping. In verse 31, and David was informed, saying, Ahithophel is among the conspirators with Absalom. And David said, O Yahweh, I pray that you will make the counsel of Ahithophel foolish. And it came to pass that when David hit the summit of the Mount of Olives, essentially, that he bowed himself before Yahweh and saw Hushai the Archite coming to meet him with his robe torn and dust on his head. So this is a very dark time. But interestingly, David prays a prayer that I believe is a prayer that we can pray today as well. That these people, Ahithophel was the counselor that had turned from being David's counselor to becoming Absalom's counselor. And so David is praying, asking our Heavenly Father, his Heavenly Father, to make Ahithophel's counsel bad counsel that would end up thwarting the plans of Absalom. And as we see on down in the story, that's exactly what happened. And then when we go to to the next chapter, let me see, chapter 16. Let me pull it up here real quick. And we're going to go to verse 12. So David, this is still in this whole scene, and David said to Abishai and all his servants, "See how my son who came from my own body seeks my life, and how much more now this other Benjamite. Leave him alone and let him curse, for Yahweh has spoken to him." So this fellow's throwing rocks at David as he's going by, telling him, "You stole the kingdom from Saul." And so verse 12, David says, "If so be Yahweh does look on my affliction, and Yahweh shall return good to me, in spite of his cursing me today." So he's putting himself in the place where if this guy's throwing stones at me and cursing me, and it's not warranted, then he's going to return good to me as a result of all this. Now David, the reason why I'm going through all this is I'm going to read three of the Psalms that David wrote while he was running from King Saul, and all of them express this amazing confidence David has that it may not look good, but he's trusting that God's going to make it good. And so that's the message I would like to have this morning. I'm going to play some music that just is coming out. In fact, I've got it at the duplicator right now with my next CD that will be coming out. I'm supposed to get them on the 19th of April. And as soon as I have them available, I'll put them on the website, www.calmingharp.com. And this is the 417 hertz frequency, and it's based on the chord progressions that come out of the description of the making of the laver for the tabernacle of Moses. And as I've shared with you before, each piece of furniture has a corresponding frequency that is associated with it, which comes out of those chord frequencies. And so this is 417, and I've titled the CD "The Frequency of Cleansing," because that's what takes place at the laver, is the cleansing of the priest's hands and feet before they go into the holy place of the tabernacle. So I'm going to be playing some of this music behind while I talk, but I'm also going to give a little period of listening to just the music so you get a little sample of what it sounds like. So maybe I'll just do a little bit of that right now, and then I'll come back in a few minutes and share some of these psalms that David wrote while he was being chased by King Saul. So that's some of the music from the labor. And I will start to read some of these psalms. The first one is Psalm 52, and it's called "The Steadfast Love of God Endures" in the version I'm using anyway. It's actually King James Version, but the edition puts little titles at the beginning of each psalm. And this is to the chief musician, a maschil, a psalm of David, when Doeg the Edomite came and told Shaul and said unto him, David is come to the house of Ahimelech. Why do you boast in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of God endures continually. Your tongue devises mischiefs, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. You love evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Selah. Stop and think about that. And I do kind of put my own words into this, so it's not purely the King James, but anyway. You love all devouring words, O you deceitful tongue. God will likewise destroy you forever. He will take you away and pluck you out of your dwelling place and root you out of the land of the living. Selah. The righteous also see and fear, and they will laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that did not make God his strength, and trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. But I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the mercy of Yahweh forever and ever. And I will praise you, Yahweh, forever, because you have done it, and I will wait on your name, for it is good before your saints. This is interesting that Doeg turned David in to King Saul, said, I saw him, I know where he's at, and I know you want to kill him, so I'll show you where he's at. And David, instead of, so there's Doeg relying on his riches and on his plans, on what he can do and what he, and that kind of reminds me of a lot of what's going on around us today, especially in the political scene. We've got these people that think they've got things wrapped up. They've been developing riches. They've been doing business with other countries. They've been doing all kinds of crazy stuff, that thinking that they're padding their own pockets and setting themselves to be in the power positions. But we have a promise here that God sees what they're doing. And he He knows who they are, and He knows where they are, and He knows the deals they've made. We may not get justice in our court systems of the land, but as David points out here, we will see righteousness. We will see the wicked taken care of. It may be a bit down the road, but it will happen because Yahweh does not allow anything to go unpunished. So that's the first one I wanted to read. Psalm 57 is the next one. To the chief musician, Alat-Sheth, a miktam of David. And a lot of people feel that when the word miktam is a style of music that he uses, and it's possible that it's a certain musical instrument that is used for it as well, so we're not quite sure. But it has to do with the musical presentation of this psalm. Remember, the psalms are songs. And this is when he fled from Shaul, and he was in the cave of Adullam. Be merciful to me, O Yahweh, be merciful to me, for my soul trusts in you. Yes, in the shadow of your wings will I make my refuge until these calamities be overpassed. Now that kind of reminds you of Psalm 91, doesn't it? They that dwell in the secret place of the Most High, I will feel his pinions or feathers over me. I will cry unto God Most High, unto Elohim, that performs all things for me. He's on my side. He will send from heaven and save me from the reproach of him that swallows me up. Selah. Elohim will send forth his mercy and his truth. My soul is among lions, and I lie even among them that are set on fire, even the sons of men, whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongues a sharp sword. But here's David's affirmation. Be exalted, O God, O Yahweh, above the heavens. Let your glory be above all the earth. There's an incredible song about that. They have prevailed. They have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They have digged a pit before me, into the midst whereof they are fallen themselves. Isn't that interesting that they're digging a pit to catch us, and Yahweh says, no, they're going to fall in it themselves. We kind of think of the story of Haman, who built the gallows to hang Mordecai and ended up hanging himself. My heart is fixed, O Elohim, my heart is fixed. I will sing and give praise. Wake up, my glory, wake, psaltery and harp. I myself will awake early. And those psaltery and harp, those are the two words that David uses frequently, the kinnor and the navel. Those are the two Hebrew words that are used there. I will praise you, O Adonai, among the people. I will sing unto you among the nations. For your mercy is great unto the heavens, and your truth unto the clouds. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be above all the earth. So let's listen to a little bit more of the music. So that's some of the music from that album, The Frequency of Cleansing, and I hope you enjoy that. I'll put a note out when things are ready to ship. So thank you for listening. The final psalm I wanted to do is called "You Are My Refuge." It is Psalm 142. It is also a maskil of David. It's interesting that all three of these are maskils. I hadn't noted that before. A prayer when he was in the cave again. So this is another one he wrote. He must have had some time to do some writing while he was in the cave. I cried unto Yahweh with my voice unto Yahweh did I make my supplication. I poured out my complaint before him. I showed before him my trouble. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, when you knew my path in the way wherein I walked, have they privately laid a snare for me. I looked on my right hand, and behold, but that was no man that would know me. Refuge failed me. No man cared for my soul. So David found out that he couldn't rely on people. In fact, some of the people he thought he could rely on were after him, trying to kill him. I cried unto you, O Adonai. I said, you are my refuge and my portion in the land of the living. Attend unto my cry, for I am brought very low. Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than me. Bring my soul out of prison, that I may praise your name. The righteous shall encircle me, compass me about, for thou shalt deal bountifully with me. So once again, David is declaring that when men fail, or even begin to devise plans that are against him, and he recognizes he doesn't have the power or the position or the strength to deal with it on a human level, he appeals to his heavenly Father and says, Father, I give it all over to you. I'm going to put you in the driver's seat. I don't know how to maneuver through all of this. I don't have the strength to bear up under all this. I need you to be at my side. The people at my side are failing me, but you at my side, I will be victorious. And we must remember that sometimes these victories come down the road. Sometimes we have to endure some things that are not fun. And I had somebody write me last week that they had been through some terrible times, and yet they understood that Father was going to bring good out of it at some point along the way. And they were encouraged by what we had said last week, and so I want to encourage each of you this week as well, that things may look really bad politically, but we have our Heavenly Father who is looking over and not biting his nails, wondering how it's going to turn out. He has a plan for each and every one of us. He created us, and he knows exactly what he's going to do. So I hope you've enjoyed our time together. Stay tuned, as I say. Little pun. I have many more songs to share with you. I have more to share about how this all comes together. And I pray that you will share and help people, especially those you see stressed, especially in these times that we're going through. Bring people to this calming and this peace and this rest that this beautiful music of the Psalms of David brings to each of our lives. Thank you for listening. Hope to see you next week. Many, many blessings to you all today.